for the free, though. That's
Collins driving, almost lost the handle. Chalmers for the tie. Got it in 10 seconds. Unbelievable.
He throws. Got Meyer. Touchdown. Gary Meyer.
And he used to tell me, those places are great, but there's no place like Kansas.
Oh, how we doing, AB?
Just dandy, just fine and dandy. How are you, Ryan? We're back.
It feels like it's been a while since I've been on this show.
You were on last week with Carter.
Oh, yeah. Was that last week?
Yeah. We haven't had like a standard episode for a while. But.
Yeah. Wow, look at me. Well, the Hawks are 1-0 after a hard-fought win over powerhouse Lindenwood. Shout out Bad Hombre. Yes. Subscribe. Shout out Matt Crabtree. Shout out Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys related?
Yeah. 1-0. Beat Lindenwood. I don't have many thoughts on that game. It was, as you would expect. I mean, I guess the first half was kind of like, or first quarter was kind of like annoying that we weren't blowing them out. But, you know, Devin Neal is still just an absolute electric factory. Jalen Daniels showed flashes. Yes, John Doe. B. Turn is at the Chiefs game. I don't know. We'll mainly talk Illinois, but like any main thoughts, takeaways, anything from this Lindenwood game?
No, I was with you that it was annoying in the first quarter, and then it all happened real quick, and it was like, all right, we're back. Can exhale. My big takeaway is that starting off hot, I bet we don't wear those jerseys again. So there's one combination that we're going to wear this year, which I was not expecting for the first game of the year.
But fantastic.
Well, see, I was going to ask. I'm back and forth on them, to be honest.
Really?
Completely honest with you, yeah. Now, I will say this was the best combination that they've used those tops for. I didn't like them with like the blue helmets and blue pants. I thought that was too much. I think two different color top and bottom. Like when K-State does the lavender top and dark purple bottom, I think that's really stupid. So like when we did that, I was like, that's disgusting. These were the best versions. I just don't know that they hold up well in like a hot, humid day because those guys were leaking through them before it even started. Which we didn't get to see because ESPN Plus fucking stinks at their job.
Oh my God. ESPN Plus is... I could do an hour pod on ESPN Plus.
We're most informed on that. So I don't know about you. I don't think we've deep delving into Illinois, you or I.
Well, yeah. I mean, before we move on from ESPN Plus, there's a lot of things that I want to say from your comments there. Real quick, the light blues, are you anti-light blues because it's not a KU color, because you don't think it looks good? Because the uniforms are fantastic, I think.
I think powder blue plays. I just don't know that I think it plays for football unless it's like Ole Miss with the red. Like if we incorporated some crimson in there with the light, I think those would be hot. But I also just think powder blue, a tight powder blue jersey on some of these bigger guys out there, it just doesn't look as smooth as it would on like a baseball field or Carolina basketball or something along those lines.
That's a good point. As me and you know, dark colors. It's slim. It's you know, black hoodie, dark gray. It's good, but I don't know. I like the uniforms. I think it's a good game to wear them in. I definitely wouldn't want to see us wear those uniforms in like a big game. But they look good. I do think on the opposite side of that, when you have a guy, maybe not a bigger guy, the real athletic looking dudes, which is majority of that team, the North Carolina blue, that light baby blue, it pops. It just looks good. So I liked them. But I'm okay if that's obviously once a year.
Yep.
That's fine.
Got to cap them at once a year.
I think I said this to Carter last week when we were talking uniforms. I'm also not against this new era of Kansas football and Lance Leipold just kind of being like generic. There's something about the Indiana thing, the Indiana basketball, those types of schools. John Doe is 5 minutes in and already wants to talk AB's dinner. We'll get to that. Stay to the end. AB might tell you what he's having for dinner.
Just might.
Yeah, that's marketing, folks.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Like, if we are going to be, I don't want it to be the Charlie Weiss, David Beatty era where it's like a new uniform every week.
I kind of think that's where we're at.
You think we're
But, like,
going back there?
We just have so many options. Like, we know they're going to go blackout for probably Colorado. We know that they're going to go with the Reds. I think for TCU is when they said they were doing that. Then the standard blue, that's 4 home games. We have 6 this year.
Yeah.
So now on the road, I guess they'll just switch out the pants and stuff, and they'll just stick with the whites. But I don't know. But, like, I think the difference is, like, even though they're different colors, the powder's not so much, but the other ones, they all kind of more or less look the same. Just a color change. So I guess that helps with the other. I feel like in past years, like the ones we talked about with Carter, with the gray ones, with a red sleeve and a blue sleeve, like this had nothing to do with any of the other jerseys we had. So I don't know.
It's one of the all-time bad moves, but
Really so stupid. So dumb.
do we want? I have a question for anyone. ESPN Plus. Before we talk Illinois, I was tweeting about, and I think this may have been more a Hulu, because I have ESPN Plus on its own, and then it's also like it works through Hulu Live. So I can be on my Hulu Live and I can watch ESPN Plus. I don't know if that's how other people watch it, but that's how I do it to avoid having to log into another app.
Yep. That's actually a big like bugaboo of mine.
So what do you have? YouTube TV?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have that?
Doesn't have that. I have to go to the ESPN app. Sucks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I tweeted it. My broadcast in like the second quarter or the first quarter, they just started talking in robot. It was robotic. It was in slow-mo. The people were moving, the players were moving at normal pace, but the announcers were talking in slow-mo. And I tweeted about it, and I made a joke about how, like, I'm convinced ESPN Plus is doing a social experiment to see how bad a service can be, yet we're all just going to keep paying for it. Like, nobody's going to, they've got us trapped. And I had a K-State fan respond, and it was like, actually, the home team is responsible for the broadcast in ESPN Plus. So really, this is more shining a light on KU. And then I saw someone respond and was like, that's actually not true. That's only for like baseball and non-major sports. So my question is, does anybody know how that works? And also, I just found it hilarious that K-State fans are now like, you know what? ESPN Plus actually isn't bad. KU sucks. Like, it's not bad all over the country.
They better hope that they don't have any broadcast issues this fall, because the heavens might be unleashed on them. It's just a bad product, and I don't know how watching sports, like, honestly, sports is what I care about the most when it comes to watching TV. How it's become so much more difficult as we've grown so much in technology. Like, imagine telling yourself as like a 14-year-old kid that the Royals have a big game and they're in first place and they're playing the Astros. It's a big game. And KU football has, their season opener, and you can't just have your remote and hit the last button to go back and forth and watch the two games. You got to pull up the Bally app to watch the Royals. You got to pull up the ESPN Plus app to watch KU football. Completely different. You can't go back and forth. It's so stupid. It really bothers me that in 2024, we're watching TV like I would imagine they just rolled it out for the first time ever. It's insane.
Yeah. It is pretty hilarious to like think about telling our middle school selves, like, okay, so middle schoolers in the future are going to be able to just literally type into a AI system and have the thing write its essay for them. Mm-hmm. That's how far technology will get. But hey, the whole watching sports thing is going to get significantly worse. Like,
you can listen to any song that's ever been made whenever you'd like to, but you can't,
yeah,
it's like burning CDs. It's like, well, I know one of my favorite songs is on this CD, but then I got to take it out of the player in my car and switch to this one to hear my second favorite song. That's what we're doing with sports now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. I mean, at some point, there's just got to be, I don't know. I don't know what I would pay, but if you could just tell me I could have, maybe, I don't think this exists, but have they started bundling I know they've done like HBO and they did all that, but like if you just told me Netflix, HBO, channels, like a la carte channel, like how do I one day just say I want ESPN, I want ESPN2, I want Fox Sports 1, I want this, oh, and I want Netflix, and I want
HGTV.
HG whatever, and I want it all brought together in one app or one thing on my TV, and I never leave that at all. I'd pay significantly, probably more per month just for the ease of it.
What if I told you we had that and it was cable? But now
I
it's
know,
not.
but we didn't have.
You can't just go back to cable because it's not the same. Because you're still gonna have to watch games on ESPN Plus. You're still gonna have to. It's just the whole thing.
And like
there's nothing
Netflix. You can't like binge a whole season of some show. So I don't know, but cable, yeah. I mean, every time I'm over at someone's house that still has cable, I'm kind of jealous because it's just something about I trust it more, and it's just so reliable. But oh yeah, ESPN Plus. I did see a comment about the announcers in ESPN Plus. I would actually argue that's my favorite part of it. Is as bad as it is, it does give you moments that you can't ever replicate anywhere other than it. Maybe like a high school sports broadcast, but like sometimes it's so bad that it's good. I love it.
That's how we got the intercepted moment,
Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I mean,
it was best with basketball. Rest in peace to our king. Can't remember his name.
Lance Blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's
iconic stuff. I mean, he was. They're bad. A lot of announcers on ESPN Plus are bad, and it's laugh out loud funny how bad it is. But okay, enough about ESPN Plus. Illinois, KU. I just checked DraftKings. We're 5-point favorites. I think it started maybe at 6.5. Is that right?
I think that's what I saw on old Twitter.com. It was weird though because I saw that like DraftKings was at 6 or I forgot. Kevin Flaherty tweeted out a screenshot, and it was at 6.
Yeah, there was it.
And but then Circa, they always tweet out their board with like all of the games. And someone retweeted it, and it was KU -3. And it just really confused me how like two giant multi-billion-dollar companies were that far off on our game.
Have you seen what they've moved to? Like, was it?
Sir, I can try and find it. I don't know.
Yeah,
if they should have like their odds on a website, but it was weird. I don't know. I feel like normally lines are pretty much the same. You might get like half a point, but
I don't know. 5. It to me, it's very tempting because of what we did to them last year, and I know Illinois is going to be better, but we really pretty much dominated them from the jump, right? Remember, I had a rehearsal dinner to go to, so I missed a lot of it, but I don't know. Illinois looked solid in their opener, didn't they?
Yeah, but I just never know how much to take out of these openers against not real schools.
Yeah.
They still got Luke Altmaier. Fornelli claims that their offense is pretty good. So maybe it's a shootout kind of vibe. But if we're trusting Luke Altmaier versus Melo Dotson and Kobe Bryant and the boys, like I think I like that matchup.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know they lost. They had a D tackle that I think went in the first round that JD shook out of his shoes, which he always does. But I don't know how to feel about the game as a whole. I know I said last week that it was like sneaky kind of freaking me out. Now that I see the line dropping more,
know.
And I've seen some people like Illinois, and it's just like, I don't know.
I know, but
it makes me nervous because
I'm
weren't
going
nervous
both
before.
ways. The more it goes down our way, and Illinois kind of becomes that trendy, people are starting to talk about Illinois. They like Illinois. Like, are we all of a sudden going from, I was nervous if we would have showed up as 9-point favorites or 10-point, something where it's like, whoa, that's a little high. But now, are we sneaky being disrespected? And are we going to come out and make a state? I don't know. I'm just like having a hard time not loving a line of 5 points. But it'll be the first true test for our new coordinator.
It's
I
just
think
so hard because I don't
if
know.
it's 5, I think I'm hammering KU -5. If it,
Mhm.
we'll see what it does.
No bias involved there.
None.
I think
None
we're
at all.
better, though. We've got to be better than Illinois. How could we not be?
The thing
much-
is, sold out crowd.
I was about to ask, how much do you think that is KU fans going crazy? Because last week I saw a lot of tweets saying tickets to the Illinois game are like $6. It doesn't feel like KU winning against Lindenwood and Illinois beating whoever the hell they beat is going to like build that much hype for that game. It's not like KU wasn't ranked and now they are. They moved up a few spots, but like, I mean, we all kind of saw this one coming. So is it just KU fans that are like, all right, let's do this. Tickets are cheap. Let's go. Or did Illinois just get fired up for beating some FCS or MAC team and go crazy?
Yeah, I would hope KU travels decently or doesn't even travel. We've got
Because
such
there's
a
just had to
alumni in
be
Chicago, but
there's had to be times like during a week where Illinois is hot or a big team's coming in, and it's just like what makes our matchup different from Michigan coming to Illinois and selling it out, or you know what I mean? Like why
Yeah,
are
I
we
mean-
Penn State coming, something like that, Wisconsin?
it's got to be a lot of KU. It's also probably just like them how KU, even KU basketball, Nebraska football, like they'll do those things where they make that a sellout, but it ain't really a sellout.
Mm-mm.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois was really like, hey, we got to get some momentum. We got to sell this out. And some big donors company came in and bought 5,000. I don't know. However that works. It's the same
Mhm.
stuff Nebraska did. So do I think it's going to be like a jam-packed, hostile, incredible environment? I'm still not buying that. But I guess when Illinois has been good, are they like a tough place to play in football?
But, like that's the thing. I feel like they have been, at least for their standards, pretty good the last couple of years. They weren't selling out then. Like that's why I'm just wondering what's changed.
I know. I've never been like scared of this environment at all. But then you see that big graphic pop up on Twitter timeline the other day, and you're like, oh, is this all of a sudden like a hard road game?
Spin zone, they're not used to it.
I would love that. It's like what used to, I feel like always used to happen at Bramlage is K-State fans and players would like psych themselves. They would get so excited and overly hype for those games that they would just come out laying bricks. So that'd be great. Just an early pick six by Mello or something.
A long-standing theory of mine is that they already have the game script in their head where the refs are going to give them all the calls. So if they don't get one, it's it's the end of the world. We don't have to talk about the Octagon of Doom. What I will ask you, and this has nothing to do with anything, why is BYU all of a sudden NIL capital of the world? And why is K-State all of a sudden in like the mix for these top 5 basketball recruits? It's kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, K-State, they got some guys that are all in on bringing this NIL thing back.
Because I think it was CBS put out a report or something of like the top NIL programs of the next 5 years, and KU was one. I know BYU might have been one. KU was in the top 5. K-State was like 6th. It was like just kind of jarring to see like BYU and K-State in the top 6 for anything NIL regarding basketball.
Yeah, no, K-State is actually crushing it, and
Good for them.
it's very funny that like they all year. We may have talked about this on the pod, but they were like, "Oh, Hunter Dickinson, $2 million. Wow!" And now Coleman Hawkins, is that his name?
The very
They're
same.
paying him $2 million.
Mhm.
It is. I don't know. How do we always get down this rabbit hole? But like,
Let's
it is
just
funny
say
how often things come back to bite them after
Mhm.
chirping.
Let's just say I've got a tweet in the draft saying, "Man, $2 million just to get a 5 seed and losing the second round of the NCAA tournament." Damn.
Dude, the guy, you got drafts ready. I love that. The
I
guy that
had one
actually,
baseball related that I never got to send. I'll get into that later.
the best, like the guy I'm most scared of that they got that sneaky happened at the end of the recruiting periods, the guy from Sanford
Achura or whatever.
yammed late in that game. I
He
mean, he
made
looked
Hunter
like
he made Hunter look like a derelict.
yeah. I mean, so K-State's going to be athletic. They got that dude from Kentucky. I don't know. He wasn't very good. But
Anthony Davis.
yeah.
Crazy.
Nerlens Noel.
Oh, that team is so fun.
Let's just name random Kentucky players for the rest of the podcast.
Tyler Eulis.
Brad Calipari.
Well, that's soft earned, not given.
Did you see, actually, it's funny that all these Kentucky players are showing up to Arkansas practices repping Arkansas
Yeah.
gear.
I saw PJ Washington did.
Yes, I would be so triggered if Bill Self left to go to Oklahoma State,
Yeah.
State, and then Joel Embiid just repping Oklahoma State everywhere he goes.
Repping the Cowboys. Be an easy transition for Bryce Thompson.
Oh God, it is funny. I mean, that is going to be something that enrages Kentucky fans for the next decade.
I've got a sleeper, Kyle Wiltshire.
Is he a Kentucky Wildcat or a Gonzaga Bulldog? What do you remember him as?
Gonzaga, but he was both.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry. I was trying to think of his name for minutes, and it finally came to me.
Kyle Wiltshire. It's a good poll. I mean, now I'm just trying to think of someone more random than Kyle Wiltshire, and it's tough. That is tough. What is the God?
Remember Kalichla from West Virginia?
Who?
Kalichla, the guy that just had the craziest hook shots there. He just lower shoulder. It was like 2016, 17, 18-ish era. Just this big white dude.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the dude for Ryan Spangler? Was that the big guy for Oklahoma?
Oh,
Was
yeah.
he big?
Yeah. Tatted up.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Who was like a big that played for them in same era, 17, 18, 16?
That was Spangler. Spangler was with the Buddy Hield, played in like the triple overtime game, I think.
Right. I just want to make sure I had the right guy. I'll never forget watching. It was an Oklahoma West Virginia game on like Big Monday, and Spangler made a play. I think he got a rebound and a putback, and Fran was like, "That play right there is why that young man will be playing at the next level." And I was like, "Dude, Ryan Spangler? He's not going to the league."
What is Ryan Spangler doing right now for a living?
At best, he's playing in like Greece.
Oh my God, I was gonna make a joke. This is
insurance.
I was gonna make the Bryson joke about like he's gonna be selling insurance. Ryan Spangler is legitimately, I'm not kidding you, a State Farm insurance agent.
Damn.
Which, hey, maybe that's not the same guy. There's no way. That's not there.
That looks like either Greg McDermott or the dad in High School Musical.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say that would have been hilarious if Ryan Spangler was. Now I just got to know what Ryan Spangler does. He probably plays in like Rome.
Beautiful place, I hear.
Dang it! Now this is bad. This is bad podcasting. I apologize, but now I got to know. Man, what does this guy do? Oh, he might be.
What'd you look up?
Ryan Spengler, Oklahoma.
Ryan Spangler basketball.
Oh, he's a area sales manager for a oil and gas company. Crushing it. But
Sure.
certainly not playing at the next level, Fran.
That was crazy.
He
But
played
I'll
in
never forget
Japan.
Kalichla. You'd remember him if you saw him. Just a big burly white with a big beard, and he would just.
Was he on the team that? Remember that year? No, this probably would have been like 20. It's probably the Oubre year, 2015. Remember when West Virginia came down, scored, went up 1? We throw a full court pass to Perry Ellis on the run, and he like lost his footing at the buzzer and put up like basically a layup and missed it. I don't think we talk about that play enough.
No.
We missed a wide open layup at the buzzer.
I'm looking at this. I found him. Kalichla. Impossible.
I have an
to spell his
image in
name.
my head of who I'm picturing, and I want to see if this is right or if I'm
Yeah.
mixing him up with morphing him with all the other. Yes. Oh my God. He reminds me of Dogus. Dogus Balbe?
Sure.
The like big guy version of him.
Who was the big tall white for Kentucky when we went in there and won, I believe? Lanky boy. European for certain. Like 16.
Not Scal Labissiere.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't white.
Well, yeah, I know, but I thought maybe you thought, oh, I don't know.
He was like a shooter.
Tall white guy, Kentucky, 2016.
Ish. Maybe I'm messing up eras, but like, I don't know. Someone's got to remember him.
God. I'm losing my. I could have rattled, back in the day, I could have rattled off every single starting lineup for every big program in college basketball over the last decade. I've lost it.
I'm lucky to even have the KU rotation down at this point.
What do you think Brad Buckner does these days?
Dude, I don't know who that is.
Brad Buckner from Texas? You don't remember. Maybe I got the wrong name. No.
The Buckner game? Bill Buckner, the first baseman for the Boston Red Sox in 1986.
Do I have that name wrong? See, I've really lost it. That's Connor Atch.
Billy Butler, DH for the Royals for.
Dude, somebody tell me I'm not going insane that Texas had a tall blonde hair guy in like 03. He played in the Nick Collison standing ovation game.
Oh, I'm lost back then, dude.
Brad Buckman. Yes, okay. Well, I thought maybe you'd remember him. All-time hateable guy, third grade me. Like, imagine this guy just tearing your favorite team up.
He looks like an actor in a movie about high school or college sports where you look at him and you're like, he is so much older than the kid he's playing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Buckman, Connor Ashley's a class. You remember Connor Ashley, right?
I do. Can I be open? Is this a safe space?
I think it is. We're talking Brad Buckman.
I teared up the other day watching a KU-related video on YouTube. I kind of want you to guess what it might have been. It was not a game.
Well,
it was somewhat of a compilation, but it was from the official KU video team.
And it's basketball.
Yes. This one was.
This is a crazy guess. Was it the recap of the KU Duke game from 2014? Dang it. Remember they did like all access videos back then?
Mm-hmm.
Which one was it?
It was the 4 or 5 minute video tribute to Bob Davis retiring.
Oh.
And at the end, I lost it because it was like a picture of him in, like early days at KU. Like he's a young man, and it's a picture of him. They're zooming out, but they're playing the audio from the Chalmers Mario's Miracle. They're playing that, and then that fades away. And then Max Falkenstein comes on the screen, and he's giving like this personal message to Bob Bauer. He like wanted to thank him for his friendship. And I was like, well, God, now Max is dead, and Bob's not here, like calling games anymore. And maybe it was a bad moment for me, but I lost it, Ryan. I lost it.
Dude. No, I think it's fair. Bob Davis.
It was so much at once, you know.
It's sad. You want to cry? Go watch the clip. I don't remember where it's from. It might have been in the video you're in. It's as the buzzer sounds in the Villanova game. I can't remember if Bob Davis like takes his headset off and like sets it down, or if he like sets something down in his final game ever. But it's just like you could just tell how bad he wanted that team to win the national title. He just wanted one more national title.
Mm-hmm.
And
sorry, one other thing. On that video, right before the Chalmers call, they were talking about how he was friends with all like the other radio teams, and they showed him like holding up like something from TCU, and Baylor gave him a plaque. And the last one was an extended clip of Haney at Tech walking Bob Davis out to midcourt, holding like a basketball and cowboy boots for him that they were going to gift him. And they like zoomed in on it, and it was like a really cool like little foreshadowing because they hadn't announced it yet. They probably knew. And now it's like, holy shit, Haney's our guy now, and Bob Davis is. It's just, it was a lot, dude. I'm telling you. I'll have to send you this like 45-second video, but it blew me to tears.
I think I've told this story before on the pod, but I played golf with a guy that his dad, my dog. Can you hear my dog?
Murph. I mean, he's such a sweetie.
Unbelievable. Going absolutely insane. He's on. He's very much on the pod.
Hi, Mr. Puppy.
The loudest bark you've ever heard in your
Well, he's just a sweet little guy, and he consoled me during the championship game. So
no, but
just me and
Haney told this guy I golf with, his dad played golf with Brian Haney when Brian Haney was like 13 or 12 or something. I don't know why he was playing with his dad and Haney went. I don't know. And the guy like was talking to him, and Brian Haney at like 12 years old was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks." What a power move!
I'm just imagining him saying it in his voice that he has now. 12-year-old.
Whoa.
I'll be the voice of the Jayhawks. And you can
Good shot there. Just casually in the middle of the round. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks.
Just thinking of 9-iron here.
The power move. Just advanced to the Final Four of what we call Buddy Pal. So we're doing all right. Mainly my brother kind of carried us last week. He shot 70, so that helped. But yeah, I don't play a lot, which sucks. I would say I'm the worst I've been since sophomore year of high school, so that also sucks. But hey.
Are you comfortable sharing a handicap?
I'm a 7.
God damn it.
I was looking at my gen history. I think I was maybe a 3 point, I don't know, or a 4. Like I was a 3 or a 4 at some point within the last like 18 months, which means I have played bad for like 2 straight summers. Growing up sucks.
How many strokes would you give me if we had a competitive match? Now, I don't always keep score, so I don't really have a handicap, but I'm thinking if you're a 7, you give me like 8 aside. And I think if I shot 97, I think I'd be like okay with that. Maybe 7 aside, but then it's like 95.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're consistently shooting 95, 96, 97, you're probably like a.
And I don't know that I am. I feel like that would be a score that I would be like, go home, be like, all right, I played okay today.
Yeah, the handicap's weird. A lot of people don't understand how the handicap works, and even I sometimes forget it. But it's like basically you're supposed to shoot your handicap once every like, chat if you know, correct me, like once every 10 rounds or 5 or maybe 5 rounds. Once every 5 rounds. So if you're shooting 95, or if you're a 25 handicap, you would shoot a 95 once every 5 rounds, and then all the other times you'd probably be shooting 96, 97, 98, 99, 100 in that range.
Hmm.
So you're probably like a 25, 26, 27 handicap, which would mean I'd give you like 8, 9, 10 aside.
So you're giving me like a shot a hole.
Yeah, and 2 pops on a couple, which is tough.
What's that mean?
2 pop, meaning like if you get 20 strokes, you'd get you'd get 1 on every hole, and the 2 hardest holes on the golf course, I'd have to give you 2 freaking strokes.
Yeah, but I'll throw one out of bounds at some point and get you right back on track.
That's what's the fun part about playing a 27 handicap. Sometimes you never know when the wheels will fall off.
So I want to throw a couple things that I've changed recently your way and see what you think about them.
I love this, Matt. Okay, go ahead.
Why? What were you gonna say? I went to the range and tried some of these. You'd be proud.
I love the thinking of the listeners right now, just getting ready to hear us talk the inner workings of a golf swing. Let's do it.
Okay. On my driver, I've been hitting it better. And I feel like I hear a lot of people say, like, close your stance a little bit, like have your front foot a little bit in front. I did the opposite on my driver and opened it up and then flared my front foot. And it's been working a lot better, like a lot better, a lot more consistent, not as much slice, a little bit more distance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see the whole swing, but yeah, I feel like driver, I go in and like back and forth on that. Sometimes I'm way more comfortable being more open. Sometimes I can feel myself being too open, so then I'll go back to being a little more closed. Thing about golf, you ride it until it just starts going awful, and then you switch to something else. So just keep. It's like putting last summer. I was telling you, just switch to the claw. Switch to the claw.
I tried it. It never got to the point where it felt comfortable enough to trust. And I was already going up to a putt, like not trusting myself. And it was like in my head already. It just wasn't good.
Are you one of those guys that's learned aim point yet?
I just go by gut because I'm not. I know that I'm not.
Do you read the putt?
Yeah, I mean, I take a look and I'm like, all right, yeah, let's kind of see. I ask my guy that I'm playing with and just see what they think. But I mean, I'm not playing at courses that have crazy breaks on these greens, first of all. But second of all, if I'm 15 feet or further out, my goal isn't to make it. It'd be cool if I did, but I just want to get it like somewhere close.
Yeah, and also like, don't be the guy that's a 25 handicap that's doing aim point to put his double bogey putt. Even like, I don't even like. I think you're a loser if you're a 7 and you're like analyzing putts from both sides for far too long. But it would be funny if you were just you got super into analyzing putts.
That's kind of.
I guess you have time, don't you? Say your rounds you guys play are like 5 hours sometimes.
Yeah, this one was. I played at Oak Country, which is awful, but it was like we wanted to play Monday morning, and there wasn't a lot out there. And we're just like, all right, let's book 7 a.m. at Oak. We thought we'd be the first ones off. We were not the first ones off. And it was like the longest round I've ever played there. But even that was like 3.5 hours because it's so short. But I don't know. It hasn't been as bad this year, to be honest. I feel like last year it was way worse with like sitting and waiting on every hole. And I'm not saying I'm not waiting consistently, but it's not like I'm waiting for 10 minutes, it feels like, before I can tee off. Had a couple of those, but mostly been pretty quick and get in and out in 4 hours.
I'm like gonna sound like grouchy old man, but I've definitely become a shrink the game guy. Like golf got really popular during COVID, which was great. Now it's too popular. Like
they should invest in building more courses out here too. I feel like there hasn't been a new course in Kansas City in a long time.
Yeah.
They're actually actively getting rid of some.
I know.
Like Deer Creek, I believe is what it's called, over on 135th and Metcalf-ish. It's gone. There's River Oaks, which was one of my favorites because it was like shitty, but it was like a good shitty and cheap. A little nicer than your average, cheap course. One other thing I changed, I know people say longer irons have it more up in your stance. Wasn't working for me. I moved it like back middle with a 5,
Okay.
and I'm smacking the ball with it. I've never hit an iron that far in my life. Like a 5, I had 170 into the green, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I went with a 5 because I had to go over some water, rather be long. I hit it like 30 or 40 yards over the fucking green into the shit.
Yeah, you're probably hitting like freaking stingers, playing the ball back in your stance with a 5-iron, just rolling that thing for a mile.
It wasn't that low though. That's the thing. Like, I feel like regardless of my irons, when I would set up how they would tell you to set up, they would all go the same height and they would more or less go the same distance. Like, I wasn't hitting the ball solidly. There was no point. I could use a 4-iron or a 9-iron. It was going the same way, and I felt more comfortable with a 9, so I'd swing that most of the time. I mean, it was definitely lower.
Whatever
but it
works.
wasn't- Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, you have to remember months ago I couldn't hit an iron.
No, I know. I'm all for
I
moving
just
the
couldn't.
ball in the back.
I just couldn't.
To me, it just seems hard. Like, to me, that would make it harder for you to hit the ball far. But
Well.
hey,
Found the sweet spot.
we got to get you to. Have you broke 90 before?
Mm-mm. Shot a 91 at Gardner last summer, but it was like, it's only 9 holes, so it was playing 9 holes twice. And it's so not like
Counts.
truest of, but that was probably the peak of my game. But the problem is I've lost my, like I said, I've lost my wedge. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Like,
the short game, gotta have it.
I know.
This
This fall, ain't no Shanks finally making an appearance.
we got
You don't have anything going on this fall, do you?
Oh my God, lots.
Mm-hmm.
This may be my last podcast for a month. Who knows?
Everything going all right with that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be in Barbados for
Mm.
almost 2 weeks, starting 2 days after our wedding. So that'll be sweet.
Are you going to listen to that J. Cole song?
It's called Barbados.
No, but it references it early.
No,
You don't
I don't
remember
know
it?
I don't think I know it. Rap it.
I think it's your son out in Barbados, cheese, eggs, and potatoes, smoking weed on the beach as my mind's working like Play-Doh, I believe is how it goes.
Wow, I'm very impressed that you.
I believe that's Nobody's Perfect. I could be wrong on that, though. That was like 2010 J. Cole. That was when I was really into it.
B-Turn's going to be so mad that one time we talked J. Cole was him not being on the podcast. Nobody loves anything more on this earth than B-Turn loves J. Cole the rapper.
Jermaine Cole.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about KU Illinois before the old Chiefs get going.
Yeah, let's get back on track to when we shied away from it half an hour ago.
Well, I'm just looking at DraftKings.
Sure.
KU -5, over under 57.5. What was the final score last year?
I don't know why 38-17 is coming to my mind.
Yeah. Didn't we it's 34-23, so 57. Wow. Right at it. TD Devin Neal for 2+ TDs is plus 280. I don't know if that's good value, but it always intrigues me. First touchdown scorer, Devin Neal, plus 500.
Mhm.
I kind of like that. I don't know. You got any thoughts on game? Have you looked at the lines at all?
No, not really. I just don't know what I would feel comfortable. You know, it's just so early. Like, I don't know what these teams are. And that sounds boring. And that sounds like, oh, I don't want to give a take. I just truly don't know how to feel about this game. And I don't know.
I'm staying all in on like I think this team's gonna just be really freaking good. Like,
Mhm.
I think we're gonna look back on this game and be like, remember when we were 5-point favorites against Illinois? Like, how was that not 2 touchdowns? I think we're gonna I think we win by 10 points. Say, wow, 31-21. I don't know. I can't talk myself into KU losing this game. It would be very interesting. I said this with Carter. It would be interesting to see how the fan base reacts.
I would like to remind people that if they do lose this game, it does not change anything with making the postseason, unless you don't think they're going to get 6 games other than this one. So it'd be fun to win, but think of it as like the Champions Classic in a way in terms of importance. You want to win it, but if you lose it, it's not the end of the world.
That's incredible. John Darrell is playing running back.
What do you think about John Darrell? Should he retire?
I don't even know how
34-28 Kansas, by the way. So we can move on.
Is what your prediction is?
Yep. John Darrell, though. Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
When's the last time you streamed with him?
Last week, and it did not go well.
John Darrell kind of stinks.
We were 8-1 going into the last 3 games of the year, and we lost at BYU in a heartbreaker, and then we lost the last game of the year. I forgot who we played. Who did we play? Baylor. I think we lost at Baylor.
Yeah, I mean,
and then we missed the conference title game.
Maybe it's time for a rebrand, different name. John Darrell might just not be it.
Just run it back with this roster again.
Yeah,
probably be more fun that way. See which hypothetical banana land name that can win the first national championship for KU football. Just keep going until I do it.
What name won Names Madness that year? Delbert?
No, Eugene.
Oh, I mean, that's a winner. The fact that it just made me laugh like that. Going all the way in a 64-team bracket. For those that don't know, AB once put together a 64-team bracket.
I think we had 68.
That made him chuckle. And then did a weekly, daily vote. I don't remember.
Oh, Ryan, I remember exactly how we did it. We did it at the exact schedule the NCAA tournament would play their games in March Madness. So we had 4 matchups at 11 a.m. on Thursday. We had 4 at 2, 4 at 5, 4 at 8. Same thing. I mean, it was just how
it was just so funny because it's the hardest I've ever seen you work on anything.
We had nothing to do.
I know. Like it was, was that COVID?
It was right at the beginning of COVID, right when they shut us down.
Oh, makes sense.
Because we did it, in place of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. It was incredible. I mean, Eugene.
Well, it was one of those moments where like myself and a couple of my close friends at home were really all in on it to where we like did it to like put it together and spent 4 hours creating the bracket and stuff and just laughing our asses off. But then luckily enough, like I feel like you and Braden kind of bought into it fairly early and just started tweeting about it for no reason. Once people started, because it meant nothing. I didn't know how to answer questions when people said, "What are we voting for here?" Like I just see 2 names. Like what qualifies as a win?
I mean, that was just what was so funny because to me, like some of the matchups, it was just so clear who the winner was. And I don't even know what we were looking for, but it was like, yeah, Eugene, of course, is going to beat Ricky or whatever else was on their bracket.
I mean, we had Clyde versus Dale on the first weekend. Imagine.
Powerhouse matchup.
Yeah, just great. Great stuff.
Who'd Eugene beat in a national title?
I think Delbert.
I think you didn't like Delbert. You thought
I felt Delbert was very funny, but almost to the point where it wasn't realistic enough as a name compared to some of these. Like the other ones felt like more generic names.
The picture of the guy on the basketball court with the crew cut haircut what was his name? Delbert? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, but I don't know.
We got to find it. Oh my God. Now I got to find this. I think it's like Delbert Jenkins. I have it in my camera roll somewhere. Because I see it.
Surely, if you just search Delbert on your Twitter, you'd find it. Like on your page, so it searches your tweets.
Let's do it.
Or Names Madness.
Oh, no.
It's a fun hashtag to go look back on every once in a while.
This is bad. I gotta quit searching my phone for things.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Mm.
I have a question for you while you look.
Yes, I found it.
Okay.
Honestly,
Yes.
Delbert Jenkins. That could
Well,
be
he
your
looks like a
grandpa
Delbert Jenkins. Hey,
or your dad. The
Not the dad.
stash.
he looks like Paul Blart, but rounder.
Delbert Jenkins.
What a stud.
Oh yeah. Okay. What was your question,
Did you have Pizza Hut last weekend?
dude? No,
No.
but I did have Pizza Hut the week before at a golf trip, so it's kind of like it satisfied my Pizza Hut craving.
Okay.
I did have Glory Days last weekend, not by myself. I
Uh-huh.
had it at my dad's house, but also elite.
Baked potato.
No, we went pretty basic pepperoni and
Probably for
hamburger.
the best. Probably for the best.
Listen, Austin, Pizza Hut, thin crust pizza from Pizza Hut. I don't know how to explain it. It's not, I'm not saying it's good pizza. I'm not saying you put it up against a New York slice or a Glory Days slice or whatever your favorite piece of pizza is, but this is just a food item. A thin crust pizza from Pizza Hut is elite.
You're
I
dead
could
on.
I could eat 30 slices of it.
That's how I feel about Domino's thin crust. It's like sometimes I think John Feidelberg of KFC Radio said this one time. He lives in New York. He's like, I can get the best pizza in the world whenever I want, but sometimes I just want Domino's. Sometimes
Yeah.
I just want Pizza Hut. It's like it doesn't count as the same food group. It's like going to McDonald's for a burger. Like, yeah, it's not fucking Westport Flea Market burger, but it's, it suits my needs. It's what I want right now. I want to feel like shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry for piling on, Austin, for your Pizza Hut take.
I this is a lifetime argument for me now that Hannah is just so anti Pizza Hut. It's like I will go to war for thin crust pizza at Pizza Hut, but I'm just a thin crust guy all the way. We've had this argument, AB.
Yeah, but I'm on your side now too. The deep dish is fine, but it's the thing is though, the Chicago thin is better than the New York thin. If they cut it in squares and it's like it's like super crispy and like almost like a cracker crust kind of a.
Yeah, really I need to go.
Really good.
The deep dish is just it's a bit aggressive.
It's a commitment.
Ooh, hey, La Rocca's catering a little 10 p.m. delivery to my wedding in a few weeks. Shout out.
Should I be looking forward to that? Meat pizza?
Local, fantastic pizza place. Staying open to deliver our pizza late, I think. So shout out to them.
All right.
So that'll be good.
I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up quickly.
About anyone that knows how to play saxophone good enough,
dude,
I'll hire you to come just like walk in for our intro with me. That's all I want.
I have a guy for you. I'm dead serious. You've met him.
That plays saxophone.
He played in high school. I don't know the last time he's picked one up, but I think if it was just to walk you guys out, he could probably figure out one song in like the next couple of weeks, if he still has a saxophone.
I know the exact song and I know the exact 20 seconds I need him to play. It's not the walk out, it's the walk in to the reception.
Is it Do What You Wanna?
No.
Lucas family.
This one I think is going to be challenging. It's the beginning of September.
Oh.
I mean, tell me if I could get. My original plan was I wanted like a full crew, trumpet, saxophone, the whole band. I don't know how to go about hiring those types of people. And it's believe it or not, it's not on the top of the priority list of wedding planning 2 weeks out.
Riley Brown had a really good live band at his wedding. It's great.
Yeah,
because I was always DJ over band, but then I saw that and I was like, I can see the argument. This is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean, live bands. I've come around to them on weddings. I love a DJ just because
anything's in
the
play.
bag is never empty. They could play songs all night, but I was thinking a little saxophone mixed with live band throughout the night. I may
Mhm.
just pay the guy to come hang out on the dance floor for like 2 hours.
Yeah. So you've been through the wedding planning tip, and I want to throw an idea that I had for my future hypothetical wedding that I'm not close to whatsoever. I don't want to have anything to do with the planning except for I want control of the music for dinner.
For dinner.
I want that hour to be vibes hour, to guitar solo hour, to John Mayer shredding hour, to Prince shredding hour. Just whatever. Like I'll pick like 5 songs that'll last like 45 minutes, and that's all I want to do with my wedding. All I care about. They can
you could
choose
probably
everything else, but I just want to
easily do
hear
that.
Purple Rain live for 20 minutes while I'm eating my fucking chicken cordon bleu or whatever's going to be there. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind.
That sounds like a great wedding. Can't wait. Who's the gal?
Beats me, man. Beats the fuck out of me.
All right. So we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we got Chiefs Super Bowl banner to go celebrate in a few minutes. How about that?
Yes. So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in to listen to 5 minutes of Illinois talk, and the rest golf, food, and weddings.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you all. Rock Chalk.